taught me how to live. Daddy taught me how to give. Both of them had their own sins. Down to the river, every man has felt the shame. All our blood, it runs the same. Father, hear us as we pray. Down to the river, down to the river. Sing, oh, oh, bury me, carry me, oh, oh, far beneath, oh, oh, fire and water me, going down deep, singing, oh, oh, bury me, carry me, oh, oh, far beneath, oh, oh, fire and water me, washing me clean, carry
Hi, welcome to the Cryptid Wilderness Research Podcast. I am CWR team member Daniel Becker up here in Anchorage, Alaska, staring into the Arctic abyss. Joining me, as always, my fellow host from Quincy, Washington, Matt Slater.
Hello.
Matt, we took a brief hiatus for a couple weeks. What's been going on?
Well, unfortunately, there's been a couple of thunderstorms down here, and pretty much the whole Cascade Mountain Range is on fire.
Oh, geez.
So, we're out here in Quincy. We're east of the Cascades, right where the wind blows, and it's nothing but overcast smoke as far as you can see. To get out from underneath it right now, you have to drive all the way to Montana or all the way down to California. It's so bad.
Wow, I hadn't heard about any of that. Here in Anchorage, the seasons are in transition, and the temperature today was in the 50s. So the 1 week of fall that we have is quickly approaching. And
Hey, after having 100 degrees plus here, 50 degrees sounds great.
Yeah, I can imagine that it does. So tonight, joining us from the great state of Louisiana is Kristi Sci-Fi and also Chad McKee. And I met Kristi at the Nebraska Bigfoot Conference when we were both speakers there, and had the pleasure of meeting Chad later on. But Bigfoot in the South has always been an interest of ours. So looking forward to talking to somebody from Louisiana.
It's going to be great.
All right. So without further ado, let's bring them in, Kristi Sci-Fi and Chad McKee.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, guys. Thank you for taking the time to be with us. I know you're just getting back from a Bigfoot conference.
Yeah.
Which conference was that, and how was that?
The Natchitoches Bigfoot Festival over in Natchitoches, Louisiana.
It was okay. They had more vendors than they did have people, but we got there a little later.
Ron Moorhead was there, Todd Neese, and a few other people.
Oh, nice. Now, you both are from the state of Louisiana, as we mentioned, and you both have distinctive stories about your interactions with Sasquatch. So, Kristi, let's start with you. How did you get involved in this Sasquatch journey?
Okay, when I was 4 years old, we used to have things called drive-ins. You were probably not even born then. And my dad took us to the drive-in movie theater, and we went and seen The Legend of Boggy Creek. Normally, a typical 4-year-old would get scared of monsters, but I didn't see it as a monster. I seen it as a being, you know? And from there, that's where it started from. So you can thank Keith Crabtree for that one.
Right. We love Keith Crabtree. He is Bigfoot royalty as far as we're concerned.
Yep, I got one of the shirts on right now.
Oh, nice.
Mine says just a girl who was a Bigfoot, a Sasquatch.
Excellent. It's so dark there we can barely see you, but I'm sure they're great. Um, so, Kristi, tell us about your first interactions with these beings.
Well, I got started back in 2018. I was doing what everybody else was doing, watching videos, not the typical armchair research, I was just interested in it. So I met a guy down there that where I lived at. He was into the Bigfoot. He had his own podcast. So I got hooked up with him, and then we became a team. We started going out in the woods together. And on the first time we went in the woods, back in Mississippi, we walked in and we saw an X between two trees, and he was fixing to go touch it. And I said, "Don't touch that. That's disrespect. Don't touch it." Well, he didn't care. He touched it anyway. Then he heard whack. He's like, "Did you hear that?" I said, "Yeah, I heard that." It was a knocking to let us know that they're there. Then at the end of the video, and I found my first footprint that time too. It was a huge track in the water. I'll send you the pictures next time. So if you do another show with us, you have the pictures. But at the end of the video, we was leaving, and I got turned on to World Bigfoot Radio, Duke Sullivan. So he had this woman on there named Kat Hansen, and she was saying these words out to the Bigfoot. So I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and do that. So I said, Nahalio, Napisu, and nothing. Then I hollered it. I said, Nahalio, Napisu. Here, whack. My friend says, "Did you hear that?" I said, "Yeah." So that's where it started. That's where the beginning started, with interaction with these beings.
So, Chad, you have the interesting story of being generationed into Bigfoot by your grandfather. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yep.
So, tell us about how that happened and your land that you're on now.
Okay. Well, this is my grandpa's land right here, and I was, raised up on it. I was born 20 miles up the road from here, and I was raised up here. And my grandpa's had Cherokee and Choctaw. Well, my grandma had Cherokee, my grandpa had Choctaw in him, and he raised me up on the stories. Just tell me about the Champé and the Sukaloo. That's what they call them. The Cherokee call them Sukaloo. The Choctaw call them Champé. And I thought they were just stories. He's just trying to keep me from going down the woods, down to the woods too long, so I get. But by the time I was about 14 or 15, I was deer hunting, and lo and behold, I seen one about 70 yards out. I got my binoculars out looking at it, and I said, "That's not a man." I seen the hair on it. I seen the hand, like I said, and all I could see was the side of his face. I couldn't see his face real good, but I was walking through there, and I got looking at it, and I walked past a tree that I'd been out there. I'd been pouring corn out there, so I knew that tree was about 10 foot tall, and he was almost as tall as the tree was. And I said, "Yeah, that's not a man." And kind of scared me a little bit. And I waited for him to go on by. I waited about an hour after went on by, and I got on my four wheeler and I come home. And I told my grandpa, he said, "I've been telling you about that boy. You didn't believe me?" I said, "I believe you now." I said, "I ain't going back out in the woods no more." My grandpa told me, "I said, boy, them things been out there your whole life. They ain't never messed with you. They ain't gonna mess with you. You respect them, they respect you." That's what my grandpa taught me about it. And he's going to start teaching me about the signs to look for, like big X's and trail markers and all that kind of stuff. My grandpa, he taught me how to hunt and trap and track. He taught me how to read signs and stuff. So it was all my grandpa. And after I seen it I got hooked after that. Just like Kristi said, I'd seen Boggy Creek when I was little. I thought it was just a movie. My grandpa was he going, huh? Yeah, you keep on thinking that. You don't know what's out there in the woods. That's how I got started. And I started interacting with someone behind my house here. I got a clan lived behind my house back here, and I started interacting with them. And Kristi didn't get to finish the story whenever she was doing Bigfoot Explorer. That's how me and her met, was on Bigfoot Explorer. We start out we're dating now, but we start out just friends at the time, and I invited her to come up here, and she got hooked, and she's been up here ever since.
So, Kristi, in your relation with Sasquatch, when did things start moving to the next level to where you were communicating with them on an individual and group basis?
Well, interacting with them, the period of us going on different expeditions before I started really talking to Chad, things were escalating. I was getting rocks thrown at me. I was seeing eye shine, footprints found, glyphs. So after that, when I met him, he's like, "Why don't you come up here? We can go do some Bigfooting out here." I said, "Okay." So I got accustomed to liking his alpha male. So that's what brought us together, was the big alpha male.
And I told her when she was coming up here, I said, "You're not gonna waste your gas. You're gonna love it." And she'll tell you, "Yep." She found out. Oh, yep, they're back there.
Yep.
So Chad, I'm sorry, go ahead, Kristi.
And that's how it began, with me interacting with him, the big guy.
The one we call old man, yeah.
Old man.
Yep.
So
He's got
the
a big
old
white
man,
stripe over his head. He got a big white goatee and a big white stripe. That's why we call him old man. He's all brown, but he got a white stripe.
so the old man is the family alpha, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
And he's a big boy.
So Chad, we have some photos that you actually sent us that come from your land. I'm going to ask Matt to start bringing these up, and as he brings them up, if you guys could just tell us the story behind them.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, here we go with the first one.
Oh, I think that's the female, isn't it? Maybe. Isn't that Attila? No. Yeah, that's one. That's his mate. The big female.
So this is the mate of the alpha.
Yeah, Tinker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Tinker. And we call her Tinker.
Tinker.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she likes bells.
Yeah. You hang bells out there in the limbs out there, and she takes
them, and you can hear her shaking them as she's going deeper in the woods.
like a reindeer bells, round Christmas bells. Yeah, Christy brings them out there, hangs them, and they're gone. The next day, you hear her out there in the woods, way up, clink, 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 clink.
And that's why we named her Tinker.
And you got another one is juvenile. She's I think, like I told you before, Daniel, when I was talking to you about it. That's the one about the same age as my son, because her and my son both around 17. And they both, she was a little bitty thing when my son was little. So I figured it around. She may be a little bit older, but she's around the same age as my son is. We call her Precious.
So this photo doesn't look like it's taken from that far away.
Oh no, it's right. I was maybe
20 yards.
Not about probably 15. 15.
Have they always come in that close, or was this a unique situation?
They come in closer.
I grew up with them, and Kristi's coming around all the time now. They know me. I think they know me and Kristi together now, so they interact with her too.
In this particular photo, you can definitely see the eyes, you see the face. So since they do all come in close, are all of their facial features the same, or are they a little bit different depending on the individual?
They're a little different, but they also have different colored eyes.
And that female, she's a little bit darker colored than our alpha male. Our alpha male is like brown, is a regular kind of brown, and she's like a little bit darker brown.
So she's a little bit darker brown, you said?
Yeah.
Wow, that's an amazing photo there.
Yeah.
Matt, Matt, do you have anything that you want to ask about this one? Sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you.
Oh no, I just wanted to say that that's incredibly close. You guys are really lucky that you're able to get so close to him.
Oh, we have our alpha. He's gotten a lot closer than that.
Wow.
You know why we have those capabilities for them to come closer?
How come?
Why is that?
Because we don't shoot at them. We don't point a gun at them. We don't call them monsters. We don't call them Nephilim.
We don't threaten them.
We don't threaten them. We love them just like our family. and they could feel that off of you.
Have they ever?
If you walk in the woods with bad intentions, they know it.
Yeah, I tell people all the time, Daniel, if you're going out there and you got bad intentions, they can read you. You know, they people say they can mind speak, they can do that. And they can read you. They know if you got bad intentions when you come in the woods. If you got bad intentions, you're not going to see anything. You come out there with good intentions, not, respect them. Like my grandpa always said, respect them.
Yeah.
Have the ones on your land ever done mind speak with either one of you?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
And what was that like when it first happened? Was it shocking? Did you get headaches? What was the effect?
Yeah, first time that me and Kristi both, we both, she'll tell you too, the first time it done it made her head hurt, but now it doesn't hurt her head anymore. We can kind of feel it's like a tingling on her lip and mine, like right in here. You feel like tingling when it start talking to you.
Yeah.
But when it first did it, yeah, I got a headache, but now it don't do it anymore.
So when they've done this, are they within eyesight of you, or can they do it from anywhere in
They
the
can do it
forest?
from a distance too. They can do it from a distance. Me and her both while I was at the conference, we could hear them asking where we was at.
Wow, that's amazing. Matt, let's bring up the next one.
Alrighty.
That's another thing I tell you about me and Chris. We're both empathic too. We can sense stuff. When we go out in the woods and we sense like any kind of negativity, we don't hang around. It's time to go.
Oh, copy
As
that. Copy that.
As they say, go. That means
That's precious
go.
right there.
Yeah, that's precious.
That's when she's up the tree. She's throwing acres at me on that one. That's the only reason I knew she was up there. Yeah, that's Precious up in the tree. That's the juvenile. She was throwing acres at me, hit me in the head, and I looked up. I was like, "What? What are you doing up there?"
So how far away from the house is this?
This one's back here, wasn't it?
Back there.
Yeah, probably about maybe quarter of a mile, half a mile behind my house.
Matt, have you ever seen a photo of one in a tree before? This is the first time I've actually seen a photo of one in the tree. I know we had that Carolina video not too long ago where we saw movement, but
Yeah, I've never actually seen one that was captured in a tree. A couple of years ago, I saw a video where they were trying to claim that there was one in a tree, but you couldn't see anything. It was just there wasn't anything there. But this is clearly,
And she was just sitting there with her legs dangling over the tree, just like a person.
yeah, clearly up there throwing stuff.
Yeah. And that's another thing. Me and Kristi, we don't call them monsters. They're not creatures. We call them people.
They are an ancient people. People want to know what they are. They are people. They were here way before time. Believe me.
I told Daniel, if you want to get you fighting mad, call him a booger or a monster or something.
Yeah. Get me mad. You want to make me really severely pissed off? Call them a monster. Call them a Nephilim.
And if we mind spoke with them. We ask them if they're Nephilim. They'll tell you, no, they're not Nephilim. They're people.
what have they told you about their origins?
They are people.
They told us a lot of stuff. Some things we can't talk about, but they don't want us speaking about some things. They've told us a lot of stuff. But they're not Nephilim. They're not. They're not from outer space. They're from Earth, just like we are.
God created them.
Have they told you if they're migratory or anything like that?
Some are, some are not.
I think last time I talked to you, Dan, I told you, I got so much. It don't get that cold down here. Maybe might get every once might get below freezing. But we got so much game and edible, wild edible around here. They don't need to go anywhere. They're here all the time. And sometimes they'll leave when it gets real bad. They have left before, but most time they're here.
Wow, absolutely amazing. Do they understand English?
Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
I mean, sometimes I can go back there and I'll say Osio, which is hello in Cherokee, and or Halito, that's hello in Choctaw. Most time we just say Osio, but we can go back and say, hey, hello, y'all back there. And of course, Kristi, she'll say a few little native words. What is it? What's the word? Come here.
Hakelo.
Hakelo, yeah, Hakelo.
Hakelo means come here.
Or you can just say, come here. Hey, y'all come over here.
So, Chad, your neighbors, are your neighbors aware of these
Yeah.
Sasquatch on the properties?
Yep. they know about them. You know, some of my neighbors at Kristi talked to them. They told her, so, yeah, they're back there.
They hear him holler a lot.
Yeah, they hear him. They hear him all the time hollering back. Said, yeah, my neighbors around. They know they're back there, but they don't. You know, they're just like we are. Just leave them alone. You know, my neighbor right down the road, Kristi, talked to him before, and he'll tell you, you leave them alone, they'll leave you alone. There ain't no sense in going back there. And he's just like the rest of all my neighbors, just like me and Kristi are. Leave them alone. Don't want to go back there shooting at them. Just leave them alone.
So what
because
is it?
Never, you know, you hear stories about, you know, some people say, well, a Sasquatch come and kill my cows or my dogs or my chickens. Like these, we've never ever had any problem with them.
He has never killed anybody's animals, not even no chickens or nothing. That's how good he is.
Now, deer and hogs,
yeah,
those rabbits, that's fair game. But you know, if it belongs to humans, he doesn't mess with it.
So, have they told you how long they've actually been in that area?
They've been since my grandpa was little, and before that, you know, his mama, his dad, and his grandpa, and all them. They told them stories. They've been here forever, and they told us themselves. You know, mom spoke with us. They've been here forever. They also have family clans up towards Tennessee, North Carolina, up the mountains. They've told us that. We've asked if they had any family, and they say, yeah, they have up in the mountains. And they told them, what mountain you talking about? And they say you know, they told us the Appalachian Mountain, the Smoky Mountains. They told us exactly where it's at, right there in Tennessee and North Carolina border, right there.
That's awesome. How many members is in this family on your land?
Old man, Tinker, Precious, and then babies. What? 6, right?
17.
One, then you got to count.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There's about 16 members.
In a clan, yeah, the whole clan. You know, they got the one little family unit that's old man's is him and his mate, and they got
babies.
The 3 babies, and they got the one juvenile female. And they also got another male with his mate, and like, you know, and they got a baby. And there's another big male. He's big old boy. He's let's see, well, how many? 16?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that's the whole clan.
It's called family units, but they do call it clan, but they call it family units like us, you know? They basically do everything we do, but in a different way. A lot of people say, well, do they mate? Yeah. Hello.
Babies come from.
They just don't use their finger and say, oop, you're pregnant. That don't happen.
They do everything we do. They burp, they fart, all that stuff.
Now, this next picture, Matt, is the next one the window picture?
Oh, yeah.
That's the one me and Kristi called Mr. Grumpy. Now, he wasn't from around here.
Okay.
He got run off. Run him.
So you guys take it away on this one, because the story behind this one's a little different. So what you got with this one?
Okay, it's about 9 or 10 o'clock at night, and I went there and was making me some coffee, and I looked at the window, I seen him looking at me, and I went, Ocio, and he just, blah. And I said, what's wrong with you? Blah.
Bleh.
So then next thing I know, the alpha come up and run him off, and I hadn't seen him since. But that's not any part of their clan. I don't know who that is, but I ain't seen him since he got run off.
So this particular picture, you can see the eyes, the nose, the mouth. You can see all that. That look that this particular individual has, is this similar to the facial structures of the other that are on your land?
No.
Well, the eyes and the nose, I'm thinking we're talking about, but
yeah, the nose, but our alpha male doesn't have a big nose.
And he doesn't have a big frown on his face. The only time I see him with a frown on my face is when he's really mad about something.
Oh, if he don't like somebody, he goes, bleh.
Yeah, he might bleh. But that's not he was just that's why I call him Mr. Grumpy. He never smiled and broke it. He just the whole time going bleh. I was like, well, what's your problem, yeah?
Now, most people, if they saw this looking in the window, would be like, all right, I'm out. But obviously it didn't startle or scare you. Is it just because you're so used to being around them?
Yeah, because I grew up with them, yep. From like I said, I'd seen him a few times. I thought I saw something. My grandpa would tell me that he didn't want me to get scared when I was little, but I remember seeing things like do this peek behind a tree a few times. And I asked my grandpa like, "Papa, is that something?" Where? No, boy, that's all right. It ain't nothing out of work. You just seeing things. He didn't want me to get scared. I was like 6, 7 years old. And then when I finally got 15, I guess he figured I was ready then. So he went and told me, "Yeah, they're out there." And like I said, kind of scared me at first, but now I didn't see them so much now. It doesn't bother me.
Now, Matt, I have to say this again, or ask this again. Have you ever seen a picture like this?
Not one directly looking in the window. No.
And
I've
it's
heard
the
of
only
it
book
plenty.
that he made Matt and Daniel was just like, bleh, bleh. I'm like, oh, why you bleh me? I ain't done nothing to you. I mean, look at his face. You can tell he got that bleh look on his face.
Yeah.
Like he was smelling his own caca.
Yes, he does not look amused.
No.
No.
I think he was trying to scare me. My spoke to me. He said he's trying to make me scared. Like, well, it didn't work, did it?
Nope, definitely not. Definitely not. And so you said this particular individual is not part of the family or clan that's generally on your
I never seen him. Like I said, my uncle, he run him off. He made him leave.
Matt, let's bring up that next one.
All right.
Track.
Yeah, the track.
Do you know which individual made this one?
That was the alpha male's mate.
Yeah, that's one we call Tinker.
Oh, copy that.
That track was only, what, 17, 18 inches, something like that?
18.
Yeah, it was bigger than my foot. I wear size 12, so it was bigger than my foot.
So tell us about your land. Tell us about the landscape. Is it swamp? Is it woods? Is it, because when people think Louisiana, they automatically think swamp.
Yeah, well, it's mostly hardwood right where I'm at. There's a few swamps way far behind my house. There's a river back there. There's probably about 2 miles behind my house, and there's a little swamp around that. But mostly it's hardwood. It's either cornfields, where I got cornfield right here around my house. I got one in front of my house and one to the side of my house and one over here on this side of my house. But and then the one behind my house. But then the rest of it's just all hardwoods.
Are there any trails through there, or?
Oh yeah, there's trails everywhere back to game trails, full water trails.
Also, another thing people think about when they think about Louisiana are, well, actually two things they think about are snakes and alligators. So because of the location that you're at, I have to ask this question. Are Sasquatch immune to snake venom? What do you think?
Yeah.
I think they are.
Because they got so much hair and their skin is so rough.
So thick.
So thick.
Yep. I've seen them tear through some woods before, and I was back there one time. Me and my son was back there one time, and they tore through right out in front of us, probably about 75 yards, and they just tore through. There wasn't nothing but briars and thorns. I mean, them green saw briars, you know what I'm talking about? And then the regular were like blackberry briars, and then just thorns, and they just tear through, and it wasn't nothing. Like that, I'm like, you couldn't do that. A human being run through that like that, they get halfway in there and be all just tore to pieces.
Wow. Yeah, I've not had the opportunity to do any research down in Louisiana and just in Arkansas there with William Lunsford and Stephen Hill, but I would definitely like to give Louisiana a shot someday.
Oh, listen, when you was with William, did y'all find 3-toe tracks?
I believe that we did. I know what I'm trying to think. I think we did when I was with them once, but I believe that William has found them on his own with Stephen.
Well, I'm just giving you a little bit of advice. Whenever you find a 3-toe track, don't chase it, don't follow it, get the hell out of there. That's not a Bigfoot.
No, it's not a Sasquatch or a Bigfoot, it's a Gugway.
It's a Gugway.
William, he'll tell you, he thinks the same thing.
Gugways are not Bigfoot. Gugway isn't. They all were Bigfoot at one time, but they broke off the chain and went a separate way, and it became evil. They eat everything, including themselves. So you don't want to be around that.
And they look like from behind a gugway. I've seen them. Gugway from behind look like a Sasquatch until they turn. Then you'll see that baboon looking face.
Copy that. I will keep that in mind. Thanks for sharing.
And they smell. They smell way worse than the Sasquatch. Me and Kristi both smelled the super the Sasquatch right here. They kind of a musky odor, but these things, they smell like sewage. And Kristi will tell you, she smelled them too.
Yeah, they smell like a giant ball of piss. Sorry, I don't mean to say that word, but it's true.
Well, that's true. That's what it smell like.
You know what I've noticed? Kristi was in Nebraska when we were up there doing that Nebraska Bigfoot conference. People were asking me questions about two particular cryptids other than Sasquatch. One of them was Gugway, as you mentioned, but the other one that people asked me about frequently while I was in Nebraska was Dogman. People seem to be asking more and more questions about Dogman. What's the deal with that? Are Dogman sightings on the rise, or is it just come to the forefront because of all the stories? Or what's the story about Dogman and its rise in noticeability as of late?
Well, I think the rise of sightings are getting higher because from where I'm at in the bottom of Louisiana, we have a thing called the Rougarou, which is not a dog man, which is a werewolf. It's a cursed Cajun person. But dog man, it's his own identity. It's a dog man cryptid. You know what I'm saying?
That's another thing you didn't mention. She lives 3 hours away from me. She lives in South Louisiana. I live up in North Louisiana.
But I think the sightings of the dog man are getting as strong as the Bigfoot. But also, just to let you know, Bigfoot and there's some good dog men that are friends. They work together as a unit when they go hunting.
The dog men are just like Sasquatch. You got good ones, you got bad ones. They're like human beings. They got good ones, they got bad ones. And Kristi, she got some casts. I've done some dogman tracks, and she have to send you those pictures sometime too. I made some casts of some dogman tracks, and she got a cast of one of the my big alphas footprint too.
I'll send you the pictures.
Nice. Well, I do know that William and Stephen have seen them palling around together in Arkansas. I do know that.
Oh, they do.
Oh yeah, William, he's a good buddy of ours.
I like William.
Yeah.
He's a good people.
William and Keith, yep. Keith Crabtree, William Lumley.
Absolutely, they are good friends of ours.
Stephen Hill, yeah.
Yeah, Williams, he can come down here sometime. Him and Keith both will come down and come squatching with me. I told him, come on. Open invitation,
Oh,
and you'll
that would
come
be great. Oh, they'd love it. They would absolutely love it. Matt,
come down anytime you get ready too, Daniel.
Oh, thank you very much. I definitely will take you up on that.
Matt, you want to come? Come on.
Yeah, I'll go down to Louisiana. I've always wanted to go there.
Yep. Get some good Cajun cooking.
Yeah, Matt needs to be introduced to the cuisine of the South. The only Cajun food I've ever gotten is in Shreveport, and people told me that I was too far north.
Yes, you are.
Ever ate any Cajun food, Matt?
Only probably a very poor facsimile that people set up restaurants way up in Alaska.
Oh, no, you got to come down here and eat some original Louisiana Cajun food.
Yeah, we don't have just snow crabs, honey. We got blue crabs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blue crab and crawfish.
And crawfish.
Fish.
Not crayfish or crawdads, crawfish.
That's right. Okay, here we go. Tell us about this particular individual.
That's my big alpha. That's the old man.
So, what was going on with when this picture was taken?
Well, that's when I was walking in the woods, and he's in a bunch of you can't really tell right there, but there's some vines and willows and some coffee we call coffee weed. And he's up there and he just said, I heard Orsil. And I turned and looked, and that's when I seen him. He told me hello and said, he went Orsil. I looked over and said, there you are, big boy. And I asked him, what are you doing? just following me around like he always does. He's always there. Like, I think I told you before, Daniel. That's my bodyguard out there. Me and Kristi both would. She'll tell you that too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, another great picture that looks like it wasn't very far away.
No, he was only about maybe 15 feet away from that picture right there. He was just in the. Of course, I've had people ask me, "We can't get a better picture." Well, he's not gonna come out there and pose for you. It's true.
Sorry. He's not going to have a G-string on and say, "Hey, baby, take a picture of me."
Yeah, I wanted to ask, with all these photos, how close they are, to your property, to your house, and how your interpersonal interactions with them.
Well,
Like, have they ever said anything to you about like taking pictures? Do they mind that? Do they not?
When I first started taking pictures, they'd back off because, like, I think I told Daniel and Chris to tell you too that they see you holding something in your hand. They used to seeing humans put something in their hand, and then whatever is out there dies. They know what weapons are. They're not stupid. And I think they at first had to get them used to me with the camera. And they finally found it was the phone or the camera. It's nothing. It's harmless. And I'll ask them, can I take your picture before I even do it? Except for Mr. Grumpy there, I didn't ask him. I just took his picture. But the rest of them, I asked them before I even take a picture.
It's good to know that they understand that now.
Yeah, well, like I said, you got to put yourself in their shoes, Daniel and Matt. You see humans out there and they have something in their hand and they raise it up and boom,
yeah,
and there's a deer or a bear or whatever's out there and dies. No, I'm not going around there. That thing, whoever got his hand, gonna kill you.
That makes sense.
So Louisiana is also hurricane country. So,
oh yeah.
With the big hurricanes that you guys have had in the last 10 to 15 years, what do these Sasquatch do during hurricanes? Can they sense when they're coming? Do they migrate north? What do they do in these situations?
Well, they can sense the change in the weather way ahead time. And I guess, like us, like if they tell us to evacuate, they evacuate. They go somewhere else.
Well, if it's bad enough, they'll leave. Like just like we do. They'll migrate somewhere else to get away from it. But most of the time, they just hunker down.
Wow. Yeah, it's just one of those questions I've always wondered about down there in the deep south and the hurricanes and how cryptids respond to those hurricanes. So, Kristi, let's go to your part of Louisiana and tell us about the Sasquatch individuals that you regularly interact with down where you are.
Oh, they're a hoot. They have words. Let me tell you. Like, I'll be watching videos and they'll be listening and watching as well. And they know, like, finding Bigfoot, they don't like none of them except for one, and that's Bobo.
Bobo, yep.
Yep.
Yeah, that's interesting. So, I'm guessing they come in really close to the house then?
Oh, yeah, I got a picture of one looking in my window, too. His eyes were lighted up.
Now, have you run into some not so nice individual Sasquatch?
I had one. It wasn't bad, but then again, it was. Now, Sasquatch have the ability of zapping you, which can give you a bad headache, can make you throw up, can make you caca on yourself. Okay. I was out in the woods with my two past friends who we were in a group. We was up in one of the state parks and we rented a hunting camp for like 4 days because they said that they had many sightings there. So we went out there and actually I found a female footprint. It's actually at the Nebraska Museum by Harriet. I gave it to her.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. She ain't getting my big footprint. I'm not giving that to nobody. That's mine. But anyway, we went out, we did some experiments. People say, let's put out a camera, we'll catch them on the camera. First of all, they're gonna know that you put the camera up. They're sitting there watching you. They good at camouflage, you know? They could be you could be standing in the woods, they could be like 2 feet from you and you wouldn't even know it.
Well, like my cousin, one time my cousin was squirrel hunting, and if he was here, he'd tell you that he went and sit down. He thought it was a log until the log moved, and it was a squatch.
Holy crap! Holy crap!
But
So, Kristi,
wait,
oh, go ahead.
I'm not finished the story. So we go out there, we do these experiments, we set up a tent and we put lanterns all around it and we left. And we put a radio, and of course the guy set up a camera. I knew he wasn't gonna get nothing. So we get back to the camp. Now, 3 days we were there, nothing happened. Well, he lost the key to the camp, so we couldn't get in. And I turned around and I said, look, I said, there's an air conditioner. 9 out of 10 times, people don't lock the window and you can slide the window up and take the air conditioner out. So that's what we did. I climbed through and I unlocked the door. Well, that night, something in my mind, which I will explain to you in a second, said, lock the window, pull the blinds down, and cover the window with something. So I did. And we went to bed that night, and then all of a sudden I started hearing this. That's it. And he was laying next to me. He said, "Did you hear that?" I said, "Yeah."
Not me.
No, not my friend Scott, because we had to share a bed because they had only 2 beds in the place, and I wasn't about to sleep on that rinky-dink sofa that they had with springs sticking out and shit. No. So I started hearing whoa, 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 whoa. And it started giving me the feeling of dread. And when I tell you I felt that, it felt like I was dying. So, commence to say, I'm going to let him take it from here. He'll tell you what told me to do that.
Now, that was our alpha here, old man. He said that he told me, my speak that Kristi's in danger. Don't open the window. So he's the one that told her.
Yeah,
When I spoke to her, told her. She didn't know at first, but that was him telling her, cover the window up and don't open the window.
And don't go outside. So how immaculate is that?
Wow, that's amazing.
Before I called later at night after she was all right. After he told me that, I called her, 30 minutes after?
Mm-hmm.
I called her and said, you all right? She went, yeah, why? I said, anything happened? And she told me, like, uh-huh. I explained that one. I hadn't talked to her that whole day because I knew she's out there on an expedition with them. So I just left her alone, and I called her about 30 minutes after it happened. And I asked her, you okay? And she went, yeah, why? Anything bad happened? And she told me that she heard scratching and that whoa, 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 whoa.
That is a feeling that you would never. And it was a young juvenile, and he wanted me to come outside so he can grab me and take me off. But that wasn't going to happen. No, I wasn't terrified. I had I sleep when I go to weird places. I have my gun, but they know it's not for them. It's for my protection because I'm little. You see me at the conference. I mean, I'm not as little as Harriet, but I'm little.
So before I throw the ball over to Matt, I want to ask you this one last question for both of you.
Okay.
For people around the country, in whether it's the Pacific Northwest, Appalachia, the South, they're private homeowners. They've got Bigfoot on their land, and they've had some limited interaction, and they're getting the idea about gifting. Is gifting a good idea or not a good idea?
Well,
they've never bothered me. My grandpa, he give them stuff, and we go out there. My grandpa taught me we had a certain right behind the house. There's a big post. Kristi knows where it's at. A big square post. Stick stuff on it and come back, and there'd be airheads there, or just regular pretty little river rocks, or feathers, or anything they find out there. I found one time they brought me and Kristi both brought us a corn husk. They made it and twisted it up, make it like a person had legs and arms. And another time they brought us a vine that was all wrapped together like a wreath.
He's even left him for me. He's even left me deer skulls. I got 3 of them.
Oh yeah, deer skulls. I got one right over there. I can't get it right now. It's in the dark, but it's over on the side of my shed right now that he left for.
But as far as you said, is in the gifting, now, if the people feel like they're not a threat to them, then maybe go ahead and do it. But don't constantly feed them, because then they're going to react to saying, where's my stuff at? And like him,
I found that out the hard way.
he found it out the hard way.
I got to feed them all the time. And one time I didn't leave him a bag of apples, and he threw a fit. And it's going to be on. I did a show with Duke, and he got to record to that where I recorded him doing it. And it's going to be on tomorrow night. If you want to watch, I'm going to be on World Bigfoot Central tomorrow night, and you'll be able to hear the recordings. You'll be able to hear the howls and the recording. He looked for his apples. He told my shed.
He
Toward
told
the
the
side
shed
I'm
up.
looking for it. He's like, oh, he's making all kind of racket out there. I had a little weenie dog at the time. His name was Joker, and I was like, get him. He's like, oh, and then the old man is right back at him. And so you can hear the dog and the squash talking to each other.
And he's like, "Ooh, ah!"
Yep. And then my brother, he's hiding in the hall, and my son and my ex-girlfriend at the time, and they're like, go see what that is. And you hear me, and I ain't going out there. He's mad.
Ooh, that's what he does. He goes, wah, wah.
Oh, that ooh-ah. That's his favorite thing.
Yeah. And he's also got some recordings that he took how many years ago? About 12?
2011.
2011. He was back in the woods way back there. And
they was close. They wouldn't maybe 50 yards away from when I recorded those.
Yeah, and people have been stealing his hollers. It's the long one where it goes, whoa.
You saying it's on, but they've been all over the internet. I know you guys probably seen it. It's like they've done Oklahoma, Minnesota, Missouri, Washington, Alaska. They all use the same house.
It's his, and
Yes.
you see the same reference with him going when he was tearing up the shed. You hear that it's him, and I've heard them same howls out here when I was on the phone with him and when I came up here.
Yep. He's heard them many times. He's been in here right there behind the house, back there hollering. Ooh, oh.
Yep.
Let's go to Matt Slater out in Quincy, Washington. Matt, what you got?
Well, I just one more question about this group of Sasquatch and your communication that you've had with them. Do they have what's the best way to say it? What's their preferred way to be referred to? What do they like to be called? I mean, we call them Bigfoot, Sasquatch, all kinds of things. But is there one term for them that they call themselves?
They don't care about Sukalu, Sasquatch. They don't like being called Bigfoot.
They don't like Bigfoot because it was given to them by a white man. They like Native Americans because they had that. They developed that trust.
Thousands of years, with the Native Americans.
Yes. And just think about it. The Bigfoot knows what plants to eat, what plants to use. Where do you think the Indians learned that?
Right.
Good question, huh?
Yeah, what kind of medicine, what plants are good for medicine and everything. My grandpa told me that too. He told me stories about that. The indigenous Americans learned about medicine from the Sukalu, Sasquatch, whatever you want to call them. My grandpa told me that.
Are the Bigfoot down there, I'm sorry, the Sasquatch down there, are they more on the aggressive side or more on the relaxed side? How would you classify that?
They're laid back.
Well,
they're laid back. They're peaceful. They're not aggressive.
You got to understand, it depends on what clan it is. You got, like Chad said earlier, you got your good ones and you got your bad ones. So if they're bad, they will put out energy to where you can feel it. You'll know it. You know what I'm saying?
Like I said earlier, me and Kristi can pick up on that. And anybody can pick up on it. You go out in the woods, and my grandpa always tell me this. I'm going to tell you, Daniel and Matt, you go out in the woods and you feel like something ain't right, get out.
Yes, leave. Don't stay. Say, I'm sorry, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
No problems.
My grandpa told me that. Apologize to him. Say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to disrespect you, I'll leave.
Yes.
Me and Kristi both done that
many times.
So the Sasquatch up here in Alaska have a reputation for being on the aggressive side, and the theory is it's because of their lack of interaction with the with human population up here. Obviously, we've got thousands of miles of wilderness, but yeah. So I was just curious about the behavior down there. But like you said, it sounds like they're pretty much laid back.
You also got the Kustika,
Yes.
which is bad.
Yeah, those I don't think I want to mess with those. That's about as bad as a Gugway.
That's about as bad as a Gugway here.
You know, as I mentioned earlier, with people talking about cryptids other than Bigfoot, Dogman and people are asking about Gugway. Can you just one more time touching on the Gugway? What is a Gugway?
I tell you, they broke off the evolution from a Bigfoot and they went their own way. And I guess down years on down, they turned into what they are now.
Gugway is Choctaw for face eater, if that tells you anything.
They took on their own distinctive look to make them, I guess, look bad, you know? Sasquatches and big,
I
Sukaloo.
think they evolved. Yeah, they evolved differently.
Yeah, they evolved into what they are now, which is baboon looking, like the Beast of Seven Shoots.
Oh yeah, that's a good picture of one. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And Kristi, she got a picture of one too.
Yeah, I got a picture of one too.
And he took the what's that thing? Dinopithecus.
Yeah, he took a Gigantopithecus skull.
Dinopithecus.
Well, whatever, some kind of pithecus. And took it and put it over the Gugway's face, and it matched to a T.
Yeah, I just wanted to revisit that Gugway definition again, and hear that one more time. So, my last question is, because I know you guys have had a really long day, is does the government know that Sasquatch exists, and if so, why aren't they saying anything?
Well, yeah, definitely they know exist, just like UFOs. And I'm going to tie into something else too. Bigfoot are not associated with UFOs. People say, "Oh, I seen them come out of a ship." Well, guess what? They abduct Bigfoot just like they do people. So I don't know where this cockamamie messes. Oh yeah, the Bigfoot with the.
Oh, and since you said that, people are saying the dogmen are government created by the government. No, they've been around as long as Sasquatch has.
Well, we're on different subjects on that tune. But anyway,
I'm just saying, I'm letting know the dog.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, but they people want to know if the Sasquatch are associated with UFOs. Now they said they got good aliens. I wouldn't trust none of them. But as far as the government knowing about Bigfoot, yes, they do. And the reason why they're keeping the secret is because people like us already know who they are and what they're about. Other people would be out in the woods and they see the Sasquatch and they go, "Ah, it's a monster." Well, guess what? They're going to lose all the respect and the reputation for going in the woods camping, so they can't make their money. What's your thoughts on that?
I'm the same way as you. I don't, and plus the way they spoke to us is mind speak. That they don't like being called a monster. Don't call them monsters. It's like disrespecting them. They're people.
So the government doesn't want us to know a lot of things, so it's like a big cover up, Just let them know that they're out there. They don't want to be aggravated by people. They just want to be left alone, Well, if they, in other words, they choose you, okay? People say, "I'm gonna go out in the woods and see one." No, that's not gonna happen. Even if you got a good heart, you got a good soul, there's a lot more to it than what people think. And that's information we can't give out at this time. So, but I will tell you, they choose you. And if you're lucky.
It's like my grandpa. He was interacting with the old man for years before, he had to eventually break me into it and, get to me introduced to old man for an old man get used to me. He was used to my grandpa. But if I come out there with my grandpa, he'd hide. And my grandpa come out there by himself, he'd show himself.
Mm-hmm.
And he finally got to doing that with me later on. When he got used to me and got to trusting me, he started. And then with Kristi, we'd been friends for 6 years and 3 years been dating, almost 4 years. Yeah.
Well, guys, I know you've had a long day from coming from the Bigfoot conference. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us tonight. And want to throw it back over to Matt Slater to bring us home.
Yeah, thank you so much, like Dan was saying, for coming on the show tonight, and after a long drive and the show all day today, and sharing the information with us. It's great information and great
No
photos.
problem.
No problem. And thank y'all for having us. We appreciate it. And hopefully we can be on future shows to answer more questions, you know,
Get you some more evidence.
get you some more evidence that there are people out there.
Yeah, absolutely. And on my next trip down to see William, hopefully we'll get to come down and visit with you guys.
That'd be good. That'd be good because we've been wanting to come down here. There you go. And you and him both can come down here.
If not, me and Chad can come up to Arkansas to come see y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we'd love to
Yeah,
take
because
you.
William's been telling me and Kristi come, William's been telling me and Kristi, why don't y'all come squash with me? Like, well, yeah, you come squash with us. Well, I'll plan on it.
I just don't want to go in the area with the go-away.
Oh, definitely not. Definitely
No.
not. So, guys, thank you once again. And we definitely want to get you back for a part 2 because there's so much to cover that we didn't even really even get started in this 1 hour. So
Yeah.
we'll definitely get something scheduled for the future. So for myself, Daniel Becker up here in Anchorage, Alaska, staring into the Arctic abyss. For my fellow host, Matt Slater out in Quincy, Washington. And for Kristi Sci-Fi and Chad McKee down in the great state of Louisiana, thank you for taking the time to join us tonight. And we will catch you next time.
Ooh.
Take care, guys.
Bye.